This is a day-by-day series, showing the highs and the lows, the good and the bad. Our best depiction of how this adventure happened, on our own, on public land. Long drive, new spot for elk hunting. I've been applying for special permits in Montana for 20 years. I had 19 bonus points. You had 9?
Yeah.
Yeah? But Karen and I both drew special permits for elk. Super exciting. My cousin Corey is behind the camera right now filming this. All right. So yeah, I'm super excited. We have like 8 to 9 days to do something. Find some elk. We've been scouting. We've been up here. I've been up here 3 times this summer. You were with me 2 of them. Every time I was up here, it topped 100 degrees, which in Montana I'm not used to. Right now, it's like 40 something degrees and it feels amazing. That being said, forecast says it's gonna pick back up in a few days and get back into the 80s, so it is what it is. But we've been able to see some cool stuff on trail camera. It's the first time I've really set trail cameras for hunting purposes. Usually I just kind of set them out for fun. Tomorrow, we're gonna go to high ground, which is relative for where we're at. This is like new. I've never hunted elk in this type of terrain before. It's like rolling, breaky type terrain, and I don't know, it's gonna be new. The thermals are gonna be different. I think the prevailing wind's gonna play a lot more role than it usually does in the mountains. Like I feel like in the mountains we're always playing thermals. Here, I'm not sure. I feel like it's going to be a lot of prevailing wind and still some thermal action, but it's going to be interesting. And water is key here. That's another thing that I'm not used to, is like water is very scarce, and especially this year, most of the water sources are dry. The one that has the best water, we had a trail camera on and had all sorts of elk coming to it. Last weekend, I glassed up there at first light and saw 3 bulls. There was a little 6x7. There's a raghorn with it. Actually, I think it's the same raghorn that was being super goofy on the trail camera. Just looks like an elk that could easily be called in. And another 6-point. We're gonna go to that same spot, glass, see what we see, and take it from there. If we're gonna adapt. If there's a lot of people in any certain spot, then we'll move. We'll see. It's possible this turns into a backpacking mission if we find elk way in there, but we have stuff to car camp and backpack both. So we're gonna go where the elk take us.
Yeah. I'm down for whatever. I just want to go home with some elk.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to spend a week with my Hocket boys.
Sweet. All right, let's get some sleep. Morning.
Morning.
Not a lot of sleep.
Morning, Kara.
What?
Good morning.
Thank you.
How'd you sleep?
Pretty good. How about you?
Short. It's good though.
Yeah.
It's not
Might-
hard.
Probably gonna need a nap midday. Mule deer, elk, all sorts of critters running around over there. First morning of actually hunting, and we finally see elk. This is, I think it's telling that as soon as there's like cold weather, stuff just starts happening, because this summer and last weekend, there weren't animals out. I think they were all hiding, waiting for it to be dark.
We've seen 2 bulls, one very large, the other also beautiful. And we've seen some cows calves, deer.
But I think we should go after that big one. At least go. My thought process is go just bugle in there and see if he answers. Because if he answers, then it could be game on. But if he doesn't answer, and we don't know where he is, then we're not going to ruin anything. You're not going to spook him, you know. Just go test the waters. And there's a good chance, I mean, he was by himself. He's a giant bull. There's a good chance that he's just not going to play the bugle calling game. But if that's the case, then we just go over. We watch where those guys disappeared into the timber. What was there, 3 cows and a calf maybe? And that nice bull. Go see if they want to play. I feel like he might be pretty fired up to come into a call. You have the spotter. Thanks. I'm so excited. We got right to where that bull disappeared, but the wind is swirling a bunch. So I'm just gonna wait and see if it stabilizes. It's like interesting because I don't know. Like in the mountains, I would like anticipate the thermals coming up this ridge, but because all the ridges are so small, I don't know what's gonna happen. But there's still a general gradient. I mean, you probably lose like 300 feet of elevation eventually going that way. But then the prevailing wind's going this way. So in my mind, the general flow is going to be kind of, I just want to see what it does for a while and just see what the wind is doing and make a play based off that. Got a good prevailing wind. The wind's picking up pretty good. I said good a lot. Real good. Things are good. It's blowing that way hard. That means we circle around, come in, drop in. Kara's gonna shoot him at 20 yards. Let's go. We're switching bulls. We kind of paralleled the ridge where I thought that bull would likely bed. There's some nice like shaded north timber, and that's where I imagined him bedding. Did a few locate bugles and cow calls, never responded to anything if he was in there, but not knowing his exact location, I figured we'd just leave him alone because I feel like it's a low probability play if we just go in there blind, and the wind's not that stable. So in the meantime, we're gonna do a big loop, go check some water sources that I haven't been to this year just to see if there's any water in them, and then we can loop around those other elk, the couple cows and that other bull we saw this morning. Make a play on them instead. I need that. Well, we just looped around the entire basin where those elk disappeared in this morning. Called, didn't hear anything, didn't smell anything. So I'm kind of at a loss. I don't know where they went. But this was like all the best bedding. Like we kind of called into all the best bedding areas that are in here. So we're just gonna kind of wander back, call a few more times, get up high again in glass. It's getting to be evening. Haven't heard anything. So they're not super fired up yet.
I think we'll just find them again.
Yeah. Find them again.
We'll find them again.
Yeah.
And then we'll find them again tomorrow.
Or we just find them tonight and you can
Let's
shoot
find
one.
them right now,
Yeah.
actually. I forgot that I was busy tomorrow. Today's looking good.
Stuff, this happens so fast too, so you never know. Like, it can just happen like that. All of a sudden they're just there.
Should I knock my arrow?
No. Okay. So yeah, we just went back to our glassing knob for the evening and saw the same bull. We had to have walked within, for sure, 200 yards of him today. Like probably within 100 yards of him. We like circled that timber so much, and sure enough, he popped out of there. Weird. Did not make a peep.
Not bad though that we didn't spook him out of there though.
Right,
Like,
yeah.
so
It is impressive that we didn't speak him out.
And if they are just holding tight, then that's just something to know too.
Just to know, yeah.
That they're not going to bounce out at first, like awareness or something.
Yeah. Stuff is just not super fired up. It was cool. We saw two bulls way far away, and I saw one of them. He was raking sagebrush and kicking up dirt in the air. And then Corey sees another one coming in from the right, and we're like, "Oh man, they're gonna fight!" And they just like walked right at each other, and then just like didn't do anything. Didn't care. But good night. We saw elk. They're just not super fired up yet. Unfortunately, it's supposed to get hot again tomorrow. It's nice and cool right now.
So we've seen 5 bulls so far, just today alone, and they all have been mature bulls.
Yeah,
So
that's sweet.
Shooter bulls?
Mature bulls.
Shooter?
Shooter's gonna shoot.
Shooter's gonna shoot.
We'll take one more day tomorrow
But
to see, to
Well-
evaluate the situation.
we looked at a lot of terrain today too.
Well, yeah, but like we only saw 4 cows,
Yeah, it's a
so we've seen
High-
more bulls.
high-
We've seen more bulls than cows.
high bull to cow ratio for sure.
We've only seen one group of cows, and they're all together with a 1 bull.
Yeah, that's sweet.
So let's just keep that up,
Let's do it.
and then just eventually, one of the times we'll get close enough.
Yeah.
Just keep going.